off, but did you feel a bit of rhythm there with the way you started?
Yeah, as much as you can in 6 balls. It was nice to get out there and hit a couple, but I've said it pretty consistently. I felt pretty good throughout the whole tournament. Probably just haven't quite nailed the starts, and tonight started really clean and switched on, and yeah, I was a bit disappointed the rain came. I think the next probably 2 or 3 overs with the game I think we only needed about 40. We probably would have tried to push on, hopefully improve that net run rate a little bit and almost give yourself a little bit of a buffer for the next 2 games.
And just on David Warner and Travis Head, I guess, sometimes you might look at a left-hand, right-hand combination being the ideal, but what is it about those two? They seem to really complement each other well.
Yeah, I think they both hit it in such different areas. I know they both cut well, but I think the way that Trav has gone through the IPL, dominated, done really well, it's come in with a lot of confidence, and he's just played such good aggressive cricket and probably taken the game away from a lot of teams. And Davey started so crisply pretty much in most of the games, and you got to look back at that England game where they sort of broke the back of the match in those first 6 overs when the wicket wasn't playing like a 12 and over in a power play type of game, but the way that they, I suppose, got us ahead allowed us to sort of set up for the back end, and we're very blessed to have 2 extremely talented guys at the top of the order who are doing a great job for us.
And mate, just looking forward to the game against Afghanistan. I know you won't see the wicket till you get there, but the games played there so far have turned a lot. Just in terms of your role with the ball, are you relishing that chance to bowl on a wicket like that, especially if you're sort of the second spinner?
Yeah, I don't think with the way I bowl, I generally need a whole heap of help. It's more my length's probably are probably more dictated to by the conditions, whether it's skidding, whether it's holding. So I suppose it's just trying to find that right pace balance, right seam angles, whatever it might be. A few more square spinners if it's spinning bigger. I suppose it's just about me trying to read the conditions as quickly as I can and then trying to adapt to that. But I'm not too phased whether it's spinning big or not spinning at all.
Glenn, that straight 6 that you hit, the commentators, Hayden and Ponting, were really raving about that shot. Can you sort of talk us through how that happened, and do you have any shots like that sort of make you feel like you're on if you get it out of the middle?
Yeah, I think tonight I just went in with a really clear mindset to sort of be a little bit more proactive and a bit more trusting, I suppose, in my foundations and what I do really well. I know I reverse well. I know I play spin well when I'm busy on my feet and moving forward and back. And when I'm just looking at gaps in the field and adapting to what comes in front of me, I can get into my innings relatively comfortably. I think even just thinking back, I feel like I might have even got sucked into a little bit of the pace of play during the IPL, where you sort of set up as a power hitter, and that's all your sort of focus goes towards, and you're thinking more about hitting boundaries every ball instead of still playing your strengths. And tonight sort of went back to, I suppose, what I do really well is start my innings with good cricketing shots, back my ability to manipulate fields, and try and stick to that.
I guess just further on that, I mean, you've been through so many periods where, there might be a run of games where it hasn't been working out and then it does change very, very quickly. Is that, with all your experience, do you know the thought process you have to make your mind go through to kind of flick that switch, or is it just something that happens?
Yeah, a lot of it can sometimes be timing, like whether you're facing the right type of bowler earlier on in your innings that can sort of help you get into that mindset. And probably wasn't ideal facing a leg spinner I've never faced before, tall, good pace on the ball, was getting a little bit of bite, bowled a really nice ball to Trav to get him out, and was a bit of an inconsistent spin in the wicket, so it might not be the safest pitch to reverse, but I know that's a shot that I play really well. There's a big gap there, and I think over the last few games I've sort of been a little bit tentative in the fact I've just been trying to poke one into a gap and get a one. And I was like, you know what, I've got to play the strengths that I have a bit more often. And you can play as many games as you want in the world, but sometimes your mind can sometimes start to play a few tricks on you and go, no, you've got to get your way into the game. You start to look at previous scores, but I think at this stage of the tournaments, I think I've just gone back to what I do really well, and hopefully that holds me in good stead. Oh, okay. So one more. Cole, trying to rack you off.
You spoke about clarity there. Can just a 6-ball innings, it is just 6 balls, give you that clarity? Because you spoke about how you felt today. Does that kind of like switch a button in your head, if that makes sense?
Yeah, it can. It's. I think I said it in another interview the other day. I got a lot of confidence out of the England innings, how I was able to sort of, I suppose, get my way through that slightly tricky period with Mitch on a wicket that, as I said, it wasn't a 12 and over pitch at the time. And I reckon during the IPL I was probably getting sucked into, that's the rate we've got to go and we've got to keep going. And I was trying to push on that without playing the way I get myself into the game. And yeah, I think I was proud I was able to sort of get myself in, give myself a chance and set the platform up for the back end and really control those middle overs. And you need a really good partner to be doing the same sort of thing at the other end, and Mitch did that as well. He would have gained a lot of confidence from that innings, and it feels like every ground has its different little idiosyncrasies. Like this is a slow outfield with a howling breeze to a short boundary. Barbados can be 50-50 on the wicket, can be slow. As we've seen, St Vincent is going to be spinny and might be a slightly quicker outfield. So there's like so many different changes. It feels like you're going to a completely different part of the world every ground that you go to, and you've got to adapt and change. And I think that's just the way our team's gone. It feels like we've been the quickest ones to adapt to the conditions throughout the tournament, and I'm sure that's going to probably hold true for the last few games. The team that adapts the quickest will come out victorious.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks. Next call.